Assalamualaikum. My name is Amna and hope you all are well, and I am presenting a quiz video assigned by our calculus professor Dr. Nasir Muhammad. So in this video we are going to study about the mean value theorem, that what is the mean value theorem, what are its applications, and where the mean value theorem applies and where it does not apply. So we should solve many examples related to mean value theorem, so we have a clear concept about the mean value theorem. Before studying the mean value theorem, we should know some basic concepts so that it avoids the ambiguity in studying the mean value theorem. So we should know about the rate of change, that some quantity is changing with respect to some other quantity, and in the same way we should know about the slope of secant line and slope of tangent line. So basically the slope, what we say, is del y by del x, means that change in y per unit change in x. But when we say slope of secant line, it means that when we have a curve and we join its 2 points, so this would be a secant line, right? But when we are draw a line at a particular instant, this would be a tangent line, and we say it's slope of tangent line. So slope of secant line always give us the approximate rate of change, not the exact rate of change, whereas the slope of tangent line gives us the exact rate of change, not the approximate rate of change. And I would give you a daily life example. For example, when I'm feeling so cold, I would give the statement that the temperature is very low, and by my assumption I give some value, but this value would not be the accurate value. This would be an approximate value, and perhaps it is more doubtful and unreliable. But when I I measure the temperature by a certain measuring device, this would be the exact rate of change, or you say the accurate rate of change, and there would be no ambiguity in that rate of change, while my assumption was unreliable, doubtful, because it was based on an assumption. So let us move to our topic, that is mean value theorem. Mean value theorem only holds in the condition if there is a function and these two conditions which I would told you holds, then the mean value theorem we say that it would be applicable. So the first one condition is that f is continuous on the closed interval. Remember, the closed interval is that interval where the values given in the interval are included. Means that the values in between the 2 points A and B, and also the A and B 2 points, are included. Whereas in the open interval we say that the values A and B are not included, but in between A and B the values are included. So this is the concept of closed interval and open interval. So we say that mean value theorem applies only if f is continuous on the closed interval and differentiable on the open interval. So why we say that it is there must be an open interval and A and B are not included? So the answer to that very question is that when we draw a curve, so there are two endpoints A and B, and we can draw many tangents or multivariate tangents over here. So this is the sign of discontinuity. So we say that the function is not continuous on that very points. So we say that f is differentiable on the open interval and continuous on the closed interval a and b. So we say that there is a point in between the 2 points a and b, and at that point the slope of secant line becomes equal to the slope of tangent line, which we studied, which I told you earlier about the slope of secant line and slope of tangent line. So in that point, at that point c, we say that slope of secant line becomes equal to the slope of tangent line, or you say slope of secant line become parallel to the slope of tangent line. So we so in that very condition the mean value theorem holds. And as you see in the equation of mean value theorem, that f derivative of c is equal to f of b minus f of a by b minus a, and when we solve it, then f of b minus f of a is equal to f derivative of c into b minus a. So we can say that slope of secant line becomes equal to the slope of tangent line in between the 2 points a and b if the conditions which I told you about continuity and differentiable holds. So let us move forward to the next slide and we explain it diagrammatically. As you see that there are two endpoints a and b, and in between a and b there is a point c, and at that point c we draw a tangent line f derivative of c. So one thing I told you that we also study about the Rolle's theorem. Rolle's theorem is somehow associated with the mean theorem, that at that point f derivative of c becomes equal to 0. So the point where the derivative of c becomes equal to 0, this would be a critical point, or you say the conditions become stable at that very point. So remember that when there are sharp edges, or you say the two conditions which I told you doesn't apply, and there is sharp edges, and at the sharp edges are the sign of the discontinuity, and at that point the rate of change becomes equal to 0, means that derivative the derivative does not holds over there. So we can say that mean value theorem also not applies in the case when there are the sharp edges. So mean value theorem only applies in the case when there is a concave portion, when the function increases or decreases gradually, not suddenly. So let us move forward. So there is a proof of mean value theorem, that we consider two functions, and where m and n are constants, and phi of a is equal to phi of b, and we always consider those two variables to whom when substituted in the original function they become the point in between the 2 points a and b, which is c, which when substituted in the original function this becomes equal to when a and b are substituted in the function. So for its proof we consider m and n constants, and similarly taking m common, taking n common from other sides, we get the equation which is f of b minus f of a b minus a. But the proof does not end over here. We say that if phi of a is equal to phi of b, it means that the function is continuous on a and b and differentiable on the open interval. So at that very condition, I have told you earlier about the Rolle's theorem, that Rolle's theorem f derivative of c also applies over here. So we can prove now minus n by m is equal to f derivative of x. For proving this, we apply the Rolle's theorem, that derivative of c must probably be equal to 0, because the mean value theorem conditions are applied. So derivative of c at that point would be equal to 0. So we put 0, and at the end there would be assigned that minus n by m become equal to f derivative of x. So in that very condition, we say that when f derivative of x becomes equal to minus n by m, so here our equation about the mean value theorem is proved, that f derivative of x is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So let us move forward. We study about the example of mean value theorem. In that very example, if you are asked to solve the mean value theorem question, you are always given a function and the interval, and by putting the interval values in the function, you would prove the mean value theorem. So in the next slide, there is a solution of that very question, that we have a function, and by putting the values in that very function using the mean value theorem, and in other side we can take the derivative of c, we get a point c is equal to 2.24, which is in between 1 and 4, and when that point is substituted in the original function, it would be continuous one. So we can solve this in the same way. So in the next question also we say that mean value theorem applies when it is function is continuous on the interval and differentiable on the open interval. So we get c is equal to, so by simple factorization, you say a simple simplification, we get c is equal to 3 by 2. So this is in between minus 1 and 4, so when substituted in the original function, this would give us the result which hold the conditions of mean value theorem. So let us move forward. There is another example on which the mean value theorem does not apply. So I told you that mean value theorem does not apply where there is a discontinuity, and in the function below you see that when we take derivative of that very function, so x becomes in the x comes in the denominator, and by substituting 0, the function becomes there is an infinity, you say the function become undefined. So this is the sign of discontinuity, and we say that mean value theorem does not hold over this function. So here there is a note about the mean value theorem, that remember, mean value theorem only applies on closed interval. Mean value theorem always applies on closed interval. When there is a closed interval, mean value theorem is applied, and the function is continuous and in the closed interval and differentiable on the open interval, so we can say that mean value theorem applies over here. So next statement says that the mean value theorem says that at some point in the interval, there is a point at which the actual slope becomes equal to the average slope, which I told you earlier. So mean value theorem applies to a large number of applications. So this was the mean value theorem which I explained to you, and I hope you understand it, and if there is an ambiguity, if there is a confusion, so you can ask me about the mean value theorem. And so thank you so much for listening me, and this is me, Amna, signing off. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Hope you are well. Today, the topic which has been given to me is mean value theorem, which tell us that any function is continuous in between the closed interval, and which is the first part. The closed interval contain the starting point, which is a, and the ending point, which is b, and which n is continuous between these two intervals, and it is also differentiable in between these two open interval. So any point in between these two open intervals uh, must give us in the form that the derivative of that of derivative of the function of that any point in between these open interval is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So this mean value theorem actually help us in many of the applications we now here we I will discuss one of the application which is used in the traffic and the traffic traffic purpose, like in many way I will explain in the form of motorway police. The motorway police gives the challan if any person crosses the overspeeding limit, which is mentioned and specific for the motorway police. If a person let us take the example. Sorry, sir, I am unable to show my papers because there is no option to change the direction of the camera. So I will discuss in the form of this condition. Example is that if speed limit rises of police is specific by police is 120, and if it cross this 120, then the person is is being able to cause and have to pay that challan. So let us take an example that a person enter Islamabad motorway at 10 a.m. and left through Haripur interchange on 12 a.m. So we will take the average speed is 120, which is which become equal to 60 actually, sorry. So the person uh, who is driving become safe to save and has maintained the order and law and obey the order and law, so he will not be cast through challan if any person crosses 120, which may be 130, 145, and something like 125. So he has to pay the challan. So this mean value theorem is used in this way, which help us in many ways, and this was the one of the example. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Iftikhar Yusuf, and today I will give the presentation on calculus, which was assigned by Professor Dr. Muhammad Nazir. So, the topic of my presentation is maximum and minimum values. So, first I will explain the extreme value theorem. So, the extreme value theorem says that we can achieve both a maximum and minimum value for a function if the function is continuous on a closed interval. Then we can achieve both the maximum and the minimum value. So what is maximum value? The maximum value of a function is the place where a function reaches its highest point or vertex on a graph. For example, if we have a function, we can say that y is equal to f of x, and we can see that the curve is made on the basis of this function, and this function has a closed interval. We can see that say that a and b. So here we can see that the function has a closed interval a and b. So this function will have a maximum point at this point. We can name this point as C, and we can say that the maximum value on the graph is a point where the derivative of the highest point will become equals to 0. That is, we can say that f derivative of C will become equal to 0. So it is the we can see that maximum point on a graph. What is minimum value? The minimum value of a function is the place where the graph has a vertex at its lowest point. For example, we have a function y is equal to f of x, and and this curve is obtained according to this function. And if this function has a closed interval at this point a and b, then according to the definition of extreme values theorems, we can obtain the minimum value at this point on the curve. We can name it as c. So extreme value theorem has many applications in real life. For example, in the field of engineering, the maximum and minimum values of a function can be used to determine its boundaries in real life. For example, if you can find a suitable function for the speed of a train, then determining the maximum possible speed of the train can help you choose the materials that would be strong enough to withstand the pressure due to such high speeds, and can be used to manufacture the brakes and rails, etc., for the train to run smoothly. And for in the field of economist, basically the economist use the maximum and the minimum values of the total profit function can be used to get an idea for the limits limits the company must put on the salaries of the employees so as to not go in loss. And in the field of medical sciences, the maximum and minimum values of the function describes the total thyroid level in the bloodstream that can be used to determine the dosage the doctor needs to prescribe the different patients to bring their thyroid levels to normal. So from this example, I will elaborate that how can we actually find the maximum or minimum values of a function. So here we can see that a function is given, and first we can find the first derivative of this function and put it equal to 0 in order to find the critical points of a function. So what is a critical point? Critical point is a point on a graph where the value of a function can be maximum or minimum. So we can take the derivative of this function and put it equal to 0. So from simplifying, we can see that 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. So by simplifying, we can see that 2x is equal to 6. We can basically shift that minus 6 on the other side, and then we can see that x is equal to the value of x becomes 3. So basically 3 is the critical point of the function, and but we don't know that whether this point is a maximum value or minimum value. Okay, so then we can put this value of 3 into the function here, and we can see that we have achieved the value that is equal to -4. So the value is -4. So we don't know that it is a maximum value or a minimum value. So in order to find that, we put values in the function and build a graph. So in this graph we can see that the graph is basically downward, and here we can see that there is a minimum value that is -4, and the graph is downward, so this value is minimum value, not a maximum value, minimum extreme value. Thank you so much for your precious time. Allah Hafiz.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Hamad Ahmed Rashid and I am from Computer Science Department. The topic I am going to explain today is the mean value theorem. The mean value theorem states that if we have function f of x which is continuous in the closed interval ab, and it is also differentiable in the open interval ab, then in the function f of x there will be a point c at which the rate of instantaneous change will be equal to the average rate of change. This means that at the point at the point C, the instantaneous rate will be equal to the average rate of change of the function. Uh, Suppose we have function f of x as shown in the graph, in which y is changing with respect to x. Here a is the initial value of x and f of a is the initial value of y. Similarly, b is the initial value of is the final value of x and f of b is the final value of y. So in this graph there will be a point C at which the instantaneous rate will be equal to the average rate of change. The instantaneous rate of change is given by the slope of tangent line, the slope of the tangent line, and the average rate of change is given by the slope of secant line. So we can also say that according to the mean value theorem, the slope of tangent line in a function, the slope of a tangent line is equal to the slope of secant line. Mathematically, we can express this theorem by the formula as shown here. In this formula, f of b is the f of b minus f of a is the change in the value of y component, and b minus a is the change of value in the x component. So from this formula we can determine the point C at which the instantaneous rate of change is equal to the average rate of change. This formula has many practical reforms, practical use, but the one I am going to explain today is same as you have explained in your videos and you have also given in the quiz. In this example, suppose we are traveling from Multan to Lahore through motorway. The distance to motorway from Multan to Lahore is 360 km, and the speed limit given by the traffic police for the government is 120 km per hour. So if we if we are abiding by the rules and going according to the speed limit, then it will take us 3 hours to reach from Multan to Lahore. But if we are not abiding by the rules and we are exceeding the speed limit, then we may reach before the 3 hours time period. So the question here is, how can the traffic police or the motorway police know that if we are exceeded the speed limit? So they with the help of the mean value theorem can calculate the instant at which we have exceeded the speed limit or the average speed by which we have traveled. We can explain this with the same graph. For example, the y component here is the distance and the x component is the time period. The total distance is 360 from Multan to Lahore. So the f of b here will be 360, and as we have started our journey from 0, so we will take the initial value of y, that is f of a, to be 0. Similarly, the time, if we are supposing this example, if we are traveling it in less than 3 hours, that is we are traveling it in 2 hours, so how can the traffic police know? So if we are traveling it in 2 hours, then the final value of b, that is at the time which we will reach our 360 km destination, will be 2 hours, and as we have started our journey from 0, so a will be 0. So by calculating this, the police officer will know that they at any instant we have exceeded the speed limit, or our average speed is 180 km per hour. So and then he will issue us a challan or whatever he likes. So mean value theorem, with the help of the mean value theorem, the traffic police can know if we are exceeded the speed limit or not.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rehan Ahmed, and in today's class I must about to define the mean value theorem by using the daily life example about the traffic police and they challenge someone on overspeeding. Let's talk about it. So first of all, we will see a mean value theorem. The definition of mean value theorem. We have a function which is continuous on a and b. We have a function which is continuous at a and b on closed intervals, and his derivative exists in open intervals. So there in open intervals, to say that lies in closed derivative, interderivative exist on all its points. It means that the function is continuous on a and b, that is in closed intervals, and is differentiable on open intervals a and b, and exists at least one point c in a and b. It means that its derivative must exist on its intervals on any one point. Okay, so if these conditions fulfill, then we have a one point on open interval that the derivative equal to this formula. So what is this formula? This is the difference between the end point and starting point, and this is the function values, and this is the values. So let's goes toward our problem. We suppose this: a person enters his car from this toll plaza and move toward this toll plaza. At this toll plaza, the traffic police officer challaned him. So he covers this distance in 2 hours and covers a distance of 159 miles. And the maximum speed limit on this road allowed from the traffic police is 65 kilometer per hour. So we will find how much speed he touched, then he find a challan. By putting the values in this formula, our endpoint, starting point, and we get a value of something 79.5 kilometer per hour. So this is the speed during his whole journey. At one point he touches the speed. So this is the overspeeding, and the traffic police challaned him. So this is our mean value theorem, and I hope I cover all this. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Bukhari Syed and my topic is mean value theorem. So what is mean value theorem? Apart from this, I will go towards the application of mean value theorem, that is how motorway police can challan on overspeeding. So as we know that mean value theorem states that, so this theorem states that if f of x is continuous over the closed interval and differentiable over the open interval, then there exists a point C in AB, where f prime of x equals to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So let's get back to our application, that is motorway police can challan on overspeeding or not. So for example, this is point A. For example, this is a point A. This is the toll bar at point A, and we exactly reach at this point at 1 p.m. We exactly reach at this point 1 p.m. and the motorway computer stuff registered that. So we reach at this point at 1 p.m. and we get off of the point, and now we get off of the point at point B at 2 p.m. So for example, this distance is 80 miles apart. This distance is 80 miles apart, and the motorway speed system or speed limit is speed limit. For example, we say that the motorway speed limit equals to that change in position is equals to s2 minus s1, which is equals to 80 miles divided by change in time t divided by. So as this is the slope, you can say that this is a slope, and which is equals to 80 miles per hour. So authorities can prove that by the help of mean value theorem, authorities can prove that at some point in that hour you must be at some point at that hour you must be going exactly 80 miles per hour. So your position as a function of time is definitely continuous and differentiable over that intervals which continues. So you always have well-defined velocity. So try to connect, you know that we have connected these points with the continuous and differentiable curves. At some point, the instantaneous velocity, the slope of tangent line is not same thing as the slope of secant line. So for example, here at this point, you have to be for ticket purpose, and you have to stop to register on highway to so the instantaneous velocity is, so here the instantaneous velocity is less than the average velocity. So we have to draw the curve from here, and then we again, as I approach and I have slowed down, so it will go like this. So at this point, at this midpoint, we have the highest speed, and at the end we have, as we approach towards the end, we have most probably the slow speed, and at the initial point we have the slow speed as we stop to register on the highway. So in this function, if this function is continuous over the closed interval and differentiable over the open interval, then there must exist a point that is known as C. We can say that that point is known as C point. So now let's just draw the tangent like this. Here there is a point C here, and then here. So here is the point C. So as the theorem states that there exists some point that we can say that the slope of tangent line is same as the slope of secant line. So here we can also draw the same. So we can say that the slope of tangent line is same as the slope of secant line. So here we can also draw the same. So we can say that the s prime of C is somehow equals to the average velocity that is here, and which is 80 miles. So this is how our theorem is proved, and motorway police can easily turn over on us or over speeding without knowing anything.